Really getting dumber and dumber and dumber, you know? I mean, just look at the logo. Which part of this primes you in an expectation of reliable medical advice? Nobody has stronger opinions on Joe Rogan than people who've never listened to Rogan. The idea that people are like emerging from their deep caves and eyes blinking against the harshness of the sun, whose touch they have never known, on a quest to seek specific medical advice when the glory of a white robe Rogan is perhaps just the slightest bit forced.
Consider myself both 8 months subscribed, 8 inches deep inside.
That's not appropriate, I think. I mean, I look, I love Edward Snowden. I'm a fan, okay? But, and I used to be a gigantic fan of Joe Rogan. It's like this. Here's how it works, okay? What's the fucking movie that like reignited or really kickstarted the Klan? I always forget. Someone says Shrek 2, Birth of a Nation. Thank you, chatters. You guys are brilliant and really quick. So, Birth of a Nation is not the reason why the Klan fucking developed as quickly as it did. Birth of a Nation took advantage of basically kicking into high gear pre-existing white supremacist values and attitudes that people have in the United States of America. That's why you can't really go against the pre-existing material conditions and what they reflect about society by way of culture. You can only light the fire. You can't exactly put out a fire and stop people from... You can't exactly put out a fire and stop people from having bad takes or good takes or whatever the fuck. But you can always... but your take on media never influencing society is silly, especially considering your gig. No, I mean, you can have a limited amount of influence as a speaker, which Joe Rogan is, okay? And I am as well. Like, that's a little bit different than, you know... Just wait. I'm going to fucking give you the take. You're going to hear what I mean, okay? Movies inherently cannot fucking, you know, suppress certain political opinions by just being, like, really cool, okay? Like, there's a limitation to that. There's a giant limitation to that. We're not going to fucking movie our way into a communist utopia. Okay? That's just not going to happen. Without organizing, without actual like people power, without labor power, there is no such thing that you can do. So my influence, the most staying power that I have with what I do is by getting you guys to organize and helping you recognize the way that society is developed through agitated propaganda. Okay? There is no like singular leader that is going to make movies, or there is no like collection of people that are going to be able to make movies. Like, manufacturing consent only works because it is working alongside State Department propaganda. And the moment that manufacturing consent does not work, they'll just fucking jail you. And they'll go into a more authoritarian style of information control, like you see in China, right? That's it. That's always my take. The reason why Joe Rogan, however, has a lot of staying power is because he's not going against the grain. He's not going against mainstream media. He's actually very much a part of the societal attitudes that people have. He is going towards and basically mirroring the reactionary societal attitudes that we have. That's the real damaging part about this. To simply state that
one more till 12 has.
To simply state that, you know, Joe Rogan, people aren't just going to him for medical advice, what the fuck, is really silly. And also not true. Because people are going to Joe Rogan for medical advice. They quite literally are. Like, famous people go to Joe Rogan for medical advice. Millions of people go to Joe Rogan for medical advice. They see him as a medical hero, dude. They see him as like an actual brilliant person. But he's not a singular individual, and there wouldn't be this many anti-vaxxers if it wasn't for the fact that there is so much misinformation that also makes its way through modes of communication like Facebook, and there's so much misinformation popping off on mainstream media outlets, you know? But ultimately, Joe Rogan does have a lot of fucking influence. Like, it's crazy to say he doesn't have enough influence to like influence people to not get the vaccine. Like, I personally think he definitely has. I mean, he straight up, I think Joe Rogan has blood on his hands. Like, he's probably stopped a bunch of people from getting the vaccine, and then, you know, they fucking went and then they died. Or they were listening to the podcast, they stopped their fucking parents from getting the vaccine, and their parents died. Like, there's no shot. If you are advocating against vaccines on a platform that has like millions and millions and millions of views and stands, okay, adult stands, then yeah, you probably have fucking killed. What if that's a fucking crazy leftist thing to say? What the fuck? No, I genuinely believe it. I do. Wasn't there like a radio host lady that almost single-handedly the reason Christians became so xenophobic? Famous people literally cited Rogan's regime when they got COVID. I think some of them even said they reached out to him personally, didn't they? Yeah. On a macro scale, we should probably deplatform people like Rogan. I think like I don't understand how Spotify doesn't say something to him and go, dude, what are you doing? Please, like, you're making a lot of money for us. We love you. Like, can you please just stop talking about fucking COVID? Like, please. You know, you're putting us at risk. You're putting everyone else at risk. Like, you know, fuck, please stop. You know? Yeah, I mean, you got Aaron Rodgers who like literally does not listen to his own team's doctors and listens to Joe Rogan. Like, well, and then you're out here being like, nah, dude, like you're wrong. Actually, Joe Rogan is not responsible. No, that's bullshit. He's not a baby, dude. That's crazy. That's actually crazy. But sure, blame the magic third eye radio man for the decline of basic trust in institutions. Throw him in the volcano and we'll have the world peace by Monday. So like Edward Snowden is right? I mean, he is right. Like obviously, this agrees with exactly what I'm saying. Okay, this agrees with exactly what I'm saying, which is that obviously if Joe Rogan was, I don't know, if Joe Rogan was an advocate for communism, like he wouldn't have this level of influence. Okay? Like people aren't going to magically turn communist overnight. The things that he's advocating for have to also correspond to individual values that people have, okay? People that hold on to these values and see it very personally. That's the only reason why. Yes, there is a decline in institutions. This is real. Yes, especially as a consequence of like not having not-for-profit healthcare, not having socialized medicine. People just simply think like every pharmaceutical company is led by demons, and they're right. They are led by fucking demons. But if and that is that plays a larger role. What do I always say? Alex Jones would be one of the greatest entertainers of all fucking time if everybody could treat Alex Jones in the same way that I do. You know, a guy who is doing a fucking bit, like he's doing performance art, and you shouldn't take him seriously. But people, unfortunately, take him seriously. They take him seriously to the point, especially in America, they take him seriously to the point where they buy all the fucking substances that he's shilling. And they take him seriously to the point where like they go and they harass victims of fucking Sandy Hook. Elon Musk is similar too at this point. Like they just have like these cult tweets are fine, Elon Musk, but you can dramatically change the political and cultural landscape this way. 1, buy and take over a major social media platform. 2, acquire or create a TV network like ABC, NBC, CBS. 3, create a world-class online university and offer degrees for interesting ideas. Elon Musk responding to Dinesh D'Souza with the interesting ideas. Oh, God. Elon is part of the problem, not a solution. But it's pretty funny. This comment was pretty funny. The idea is people are like emerging from their deep caves, eyes blinking against the harness of a sun whose touch they have never known, on a quest to seek specific medical advice from the glory of a white-robed Rogan is perhaps just the slightest bit forced. That's not what this is. Like, I don't think people are saying like Joe Rogan is exclusively the reason for COVID misinformation spreading. You want to talk about Shapiro? Then that's a different story. He's telling people to believe these things, that he's saying Joe's just smoking a blunt, having a convo. That's not true. And if you're a Joe Rogan fan like I am, you know that there are certain things that Joe Rogan has always been like a fucking ride or die Andy on, okay? Smoking weed, DMT. Well, not for everyone, but like, you know, the medical uses potentially of like DMT and other psychedelics, okay? Eating elk meat and hunting. These are like things that he always was an advocate for and will never change his mind on. And by the way, I don't have a problem with those things. Those things are great for him to be an advocate on. Who cares? Joe Rogan, on the other hand, has now adopted this new position, being a fucking medicine skeptic, a COVID skeptic. And it's one thing that he will never go back on. He just like fucking does not care. He will not back down. No matter how much people tell him he's misinforming people, he just does not stop. So it's not just him like smoking a blunt and pontificating. He's smoking a blunt and deliberately misinforming people, regardless of however many people correct him. Huh? What? He has changed his idea on marijuana. Wrong again. Damazon striking out today. Wait, what? 2 horrible takes back to back today. Are you okay? Wait, what has he changed his mind on weed? Let's go to your bad take on comedy news. As long as like a Republican that hates liberals, same side, homie. Comedy news is comedy and news. You don't have to be a liberal to laugh. Wait, you're a fucking Stephen Colbert defender? What the fuck? Bro, this is like, dude, please seek help, okay? Hasan, I fucked your grandmom, and nobody will remember except your mom because I broke her back so many times. Aw, Joe Simp. Hasan sounds like a boomer. Hasan is just moving the goalpost now. Again. Hasan, 2 horrible back-to-back takes. Are you okay? Dude, please seek help, okay? Up the dose of lithium that you're taking. Clearly it's not working. You literally think we're having a conversation and communicating to one another. This is the first and last time I will ever fucking communicate with you. You are never, I don't know who you are. I will never know who you are. I will forget about you immediately after this. You need to get medical help, okay? Please. You meant that Joe was very anti-weed up until after that docu about BC Bud? What? Anyway, okay. I don't care about the fucking governor making someone kiss their dog's butthole, okay? It's weird as fuck. Oh yeah, his trans takes are terrible too. Exactly. That's another one. He just like will never give up on that trans athletes in sports. Like that's